Today I'll be filming the replacement of a strut with an strut assembly of a 2003 Acura TL Type S. For the front of the strut itself, it's held on by 5 bolts at the top of the engine bay, and it's done in a way that it can only go in one way. For the back side, it's got the support collar that actually goes down into the lower control arm, and it's held on by this 17mm on both sides. And then for the support collar itself, it's held on just by this one bolt. When you take that out, you'll see it just slides apart. Now, what you can see right here is there's like a tiny little tab. And for that little tab, when you're putting everything back together, it needs to fit right within this slot. Whenever it slides in, it's got to fit in there perfectly. If you miss the mark, you'll see that there's a gap. There we go. There's a tiny little gap right there, just right in front. But as you key it over, then it goes flush. And that's what you're looking for as you're putting this back on, is for that to be perfectly flush. And then just tighten it down and put it all back together. Now, as you're having to watch this video to give you some insight in your project, if you find yourself in a situation when you're having to go, ew, I apologize up front. Sorry, you've got to deal with this fat, sweaty guy working on his car. It's 100 degrees outside, and I'm doing the best I can with what I got, so I hope you're not too offended. With that, good luck on your project. Okay, for the top of the strut mount, it's actually held in place by these 3 bolts and then these 2 right here. The 3 main are 14s. These 2 for the bar going across to the other strut tire, those are held on by 12s. And then for below, how it's held into place is you've got actually this entire piece right here that connects to the lower support arm and then to the bottom of the strut mount. And that is actually held on right here by a 14mm bolt. And then for this, down below, it's hard to see, I'm going to angle it the other way. And the bottom support mount for this strut assembly is going to be this bolt right here, and it's held on going all the way across to a 17mm on both sides. So we'll take this out, so this whole piece right here just kind of drops down and then allows more room for us to get the assembly out. And then after we make room by dropping this piece down here, then we'll go ahead and this whole assembly will actually move up and down. We're going to go ahead and just put a little bit of support underneath it, lift up this hub assembly, so we can go ahead and wiggle this on out of place. For the bottom of this strut, you've got this support collar. We're going to go ahead and take that off with 14. That's all that is right there. Now we're going to switch to the 17s. We get on both sides. There we go. Now this lower support collar will just slide right off. Okay. And you can see where that's starting to move because there is no strut's no longer on it. Okay, for top side, just go ahead and get these loosened up. Get them out of the way. $12 for the sport bar. With the top nuts removed, now this is ready to go ahead and come on out. I'm going to go ahead and lift this up. Give myself just a little bit extra room to work with. There you have it, one strut.